name is Elikim Tamaklo. I'm the Managing Director for Network Medical Center. Today I was speaking on the role of private sector in the COVID-19 pandemic and talking about the challenges and the lessons learned. Obviously we know that private sector plays a role, but we talk about the front line. We don't realize that the front line requires every member of this ecosystem to work at their best. And we're only as strong as our weakest link, and our experience in the private sector was really that we had to play a role in COVID-19. We picked up the second case of the COVID-19 pandemic due to a strong triaging system, and we were able to test and help in testing with a new PCR lab, and we were the first accredited company to do testing in the private sector. But all these lessons learned really were challenges because until we realized that we only work as a team, especially with a pandemic like COVID-19, we fall short. So the private sector cannot do everything. We can do some things. So here my message was about how we play a particular role in innovation. We are very agile, we're able to move quickly, we're able to respond to the need. But this is where the public sector and the faith-based really come into the huge numbers that we see to also play a role. So ultimately, we have to figure out how we can all coordinate our efforts.
Okay, so today we had a presentation about COVID-19 genome sequencing in Ghana. So I talked about all the variants that we've detected in the country so far, and the dynamics of these variants, which variants come and go at the various times. So we have data for the period from July of 2020 to August of 2021, and it shows the initial variants that we had in the country before we had the Alpha variant, also known as the UK variant, which came in around Christmas. Then it was replaced by another variant that is called B11318, which was first discovered in Mauritius. Then eventually Delta came in and displaced all of those. So now Delta variant is the dominant one, together with its cousin called Delta Plus variant. So the Delta family of variants are now leading the pandemic in Ghana. The other thing we found is that these viruses are mutating quite fast, so you have a diversity even within the variants. And what that means is that it's still possible to get new variants that would be even more aggressive than Delta. We hope it doesn't happen, but it's still possible because once you have ongoing transmission and mutations are occurring, it takes one or two mutations at certain strategic positions on the virus for a wilder strain of the virus to be or to emerge.
Well, so this morning I actually focused my talk on the need that we have for a new kind of health professional in this COVID age. I also pointed out that to a large extent we did very well in Ghana. We put in place the right things before the pandemic. During the pandemic itself, we did some really good things. We surely did make a few mistakes, but ultimately the success that we had, while it was to some degree informed by our actions, we were very lucky in many respects. What this means is that you cannot or will not always be lucky, and you need to be deliberate as possible, as much as you can, about any success that you want to have. Even though sometimes, no matter what you do, you will still end up with challenges that you cannot overcome. So for that reason, I called for two major actions: a broad stroke of general development in the IT sector, in the road sector, and in other sectors of the economy, which ultimately will provide a platform so that in the event of a pandemic or a catastrophic event, you can always layer your emergency actions on top of that very quickly to achieve success.